morning, everyone. My name is Miss Marilyn, and welcome to Story Time. Today, we're going to hear stories about rain. I bet you guys have noticed that it rains a lot in the spring, so I thought that would be the perfect thing to talk about today. But first, let's get started with our welcome song, Shake Our Sillies Out. Are you guys ready? We're gonna shake, shake, shake our sillies out, shake, shake, shake our sillies out, shake, shake, shake our sillies out, and wiggle our waggles away. We're gonna clap, clap, clap our crazies out, clap, clap, clap our crazies out, clap, clap, clap our crazies out, and wiggle our waggles away. We're gonna stretch, stretch, stretch our stretchies out, stretch, stretch, stretch our stretchies out, stretch, stretch, stretch our stretchies out, and wiggle our waggles away. We're gonna yawn, yawn, yawn our yawnies out, yawn, yawn, yawn our yawnies out, yawn, yawn, yawn our yawnies out, and wiggle our waggles away. Good job, guys. Now we're ready for our story. And our first story is actually going to teach us about the rain, and it's called Rain. First up, evaporation. The sun heats bodies of water. Heat makes water turn into vapor, and vapor goes into the air. This is called evaporation. Warm air rises. It takes the vapor with it. Warm air rises when cold air blows in. Mountains can also make warm air rise. Next is condensation. Warm air cools as it rises, and the vapor turns into tiny droplets in cold air. The droplets come together and form a cloud. This is called condensation. And up next, precipitation. The water droplets come together in big clouds. The water droplets get bigger, and they fall from the clouds when they get too heavy. When water falls from clouds, it is raining. Rain is also called precipitation. Too much rain is a bad thing. The ground can become too wet, and trees can fall over. It can also cause flooding. Not enough rain is also a bad thing. This can cause a drought. All living things need water to survive. Rain is an important part of the water cycle. Rain brings fresh water to plants and animals. And now you guys know all about rain, and you learned some new words too. All right, well, speaking of rain, it's time to sing a song. And this song is called Little Raindrops. So, can we hold our hands out and do little raindrops? Very good. Well, for this, we're actually going to start with patting our knees for little raindrops. And this song is actually to the tune of London Bridges. So if you guys know that song, this will be really easy. Ready? Little raindrops falling down, falling down, falling down. Little raindrops falling down, falling to the ground. Well, next we're going to have big raindrops. And for that, we're going to need to clap. So let's go on to the next verse. Ready? Bigger raindrops falling down, falling down, falling down. Bigger raindrops falling down, falling to the ground. Well, I think we can go bigger. How about giant raindrops? And for that, we're going to need to stomp our feet. Are you guys ready? Giant raindrops falling down, falling down, falling down. Giant raindrops falling down, down to the ground. Good job, guys. Thanks for singing with me. All right, now we're going to move on to our next story, and this story is called May I Come In? The rain poured, and Raccoon shivered. The thunder roared, and Raccoon quivered. And the lightning flashed, and Raccoon hid his head under his arms. Being alone on a night like tonight is scary, he said. Raccoon grabbed his umbrella and hurried out the door. Swish, plish! Raccoon splashed through Thistle Hollow all the way to Possum's den. "Possum, old friend, may I come in?" Raccoon shouted over the thunder. What bad luck," Possum replied. "My den is too small for one of your size." Swish, plish! Raccoon walked through Thistle Hollow all the way to Quail's brambles. "Quail, old friend, may I come in?" "Oh, what bad luck," Quail replied. "My brambles are too tight, and you're too wide." Swish, splish! Raccoon splashed through Thistle Hollow all the way to Woodchuck's hole. "Woodchuck, old friend, may I come in?" "Oh, what bad luck," Woodchuck replied. "I have only room for one to hide." Raccoon stood shaking in the rain, and his umbrella blew inside out, and his fur felt wet and spongy. He sniffled as he thought of spending the night all alone. On the edge of Thistle Hollow, beyond the rain and darkness, he saw a tiny light, shimmering and glimmering. Swish, plish, swish, plish, swish, swish, plish, as Raccoon walked. "Rabbit, dear friend," called Raccoon, doubtfully. "May I come in?" Rabbit opened the door. Behind her, 10 little rabbits hopped and bopped to the raindrops. "Oh, never mind, Rabbit," said Raccoon, backing away. "Your house seems full." "What luck," said Rabbit. "Come on in. There's always room for a good friend." Rabbit led Raccoon to a cozy chair, and 10 little rabbits hopped and bopped. The rain poured, and Raccoon smiled. The thunder roared, and Raccoon hummed. Lightning flashed, and the smell of carrot stew filled Rabbit's home. Soon a knock sounded over the thunder. The voices cried out from the rain and its darkness. "Being alone on a night like tonight is scary," they said. Rabbit opened the door to see Possum, Quail, and Woodchuck, and 10 little rabbits hopped and bopped. Raccoon and Rabbit looked at each other and grinned. "What good luck," they said. "Come right in. There's always room for all of our friends." The end. Rainy nights aren't so scary when you have other friends to spend them with, aren't they? All right, well, it's time for us to do a little counting with some umbrellas. So let's see, how many umbrellas do I have today? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 umbrellas. And what colors do we have? We have red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. All right, so let's hold up our fingers for 5. There were 5 little umbrellas by the back door, but the red one went outside. And then there were, how many? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little umbrellas, stylish as can be. The blue one was needed, so then there were 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 little umbrellas. Oh, how they missed the blue. So the green one followed along, and then there were, how many? 2. 1, 2. 2 little umbrellas. Glad there was no sun. The yellow went into the rain, and then there was 1. 1 umbrella. 1 little umbrella all alone in the hall. The orange one got picked up, and then that was all. No more umbrellas. Good job counting, guys. All right, I have another story for you, and this story is called The Weather's Bet. Once upon the sky, there were 3 powers who ruled the earth from mighty towers. Wind, whose anger ruled the air, would topple anything anywhere. Rain, whose power brought water down with all of its grief, could make things drown. And sun, whose joy ruled the light, could bring down dawn's hope beyond the night. One day a shepherd was fast asleep upon a hill with her flock of sheep. Wind bet, as the shepherd took her nap, that he could make her lose her cap. Blowing angry gusts of air, the wind howled and howled, both far and near. But holding on unafraid, the shepherd waited for the wind to fade. Well, then rain came down and tried to soak. With pounding water, her cap and cloak. Do you think rain's going to be able to do it? Tears poured down and made a flood, but the shepherd smiled and danced in the mud. Then behind a cloud peeked the gentle sun, whose light beamed down on everyone. The shepherd smiled and began to sweat, and wind and rain had lost the bet. For with the passing morning storm, she laughed and her cap was off when she got warm. Wind and rain then humbly bowed to the joyful light behind the cloud. As the three looked down upon the scene, the hills and valleys all turned green. And the shepherd smiled at the setting sun, for she knew in her heart that the earth had won. The end. Okay, I think we're going to sing another song. And this song is called It Ain't Gonna Rain No More. All right, are you guys ready? It ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. Oh no, it's up to my toe, but it ain't gonna rain no more. It ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. Oh gee, it's up to my knee, but it ain't gonna rain no more. It ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. Oh fiddle, it's up to my middle, but it ain't gonna rain no more. It ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. Oh heck, it's up to my neck, but it ain't gonna rain no more. It ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. Oh dread, it's up to my head. I'm just gonna go swim home. There we go. All right, guys, we're gonna read one more story, and this story is called Cloudette. Cloudette was a cloud, a very small cloud. Usually, Cloudette didn't mind being smaller than the average cloud. In fact, being small had lots of advantages. Everyone called her cute little nicknames, like Shortcake and Small Fry. She had lots of friends, like kites and birds and squirrels and trees. And no matter how crowded it was, she could always find a great spot to watch the fireworks. She could sneak into tight places. Oh, excuse me. And she could hide in small spaces, like between buildings. And she even had a special little space that made her always cozy at night. But once in a while, all the other clouds would run off to do something big and important. They would make a huge storm. They would water some crops and make mighty rivers flow. Oh, poor Cloudette. Cloudette could see them in the distance doing all sorts of important cloud things, and that made her want to do big and important cloud things too. She wanted to make the garden grow. She wanted to make a brook babble. She wanted to make a waterfall fall. And she thought nothing would be more fun than giving kids a day off of school. One night, Cloudette lay awake wondering, what could she do that was big and important? Well, she thought maybe she could work for the fire department. Oh, but they just got a brand new pumper truck. Or maybe they needed help at the garden center. Oh, but it says that they take tons of water to grow, and Cloudette is just a little cloud. Nobody seemed to need her, and Cloudette was feeling blue. The next day there was a big storm in Cloudette's neighborhood. The sky got dark and the rain came down like cats and dogs, and the wind blew harder than she'd ever seen wind blow before. And when the storm finally stopped, Cloudette realized she'd been blown far, far from her neighborhood. She didn't know anyone there, and they didn't seem to want to get to know her either. Well, but pretty soon she was making new friends and seeing things that she'd never seen before. And she heard something that she'd never heard before. She looked down at what was supposed to be a pond, but it was really just a pile of mud, and a little frog sat in the center. "What happened to your pond, Froggy?" she asked.
"It's all dried up now, and it's more like a puddle than a pond."
This gave Cloudette an idea. More like a brainstorm, actually. She held her breath, and she started to puff up all over, and then she turned a nice blue-gray color, and she kept growing until she was ready to burst. And she shook until she heard a little rumbling sound. Not quite what you would call thunder, but enough to let people know that they might want to grab an umbrella. And then she did what she wanted to do for ages. She let it pour. Cloudette rained on that little puddle until it grew into a big puddle. And she kept raining on that big puddle until it grew into a perfect pond. And as soon as she stopped, frogs of every stripe and spot came jumping into the pond. And they all let out a big thank you in unison. Ribbit! Cloudette was exhausted, but very happy. Even the higher-ups were impressed, which got her thinking. I bet there are other big and important things little clouds can do. And off she went. The end. I think Cloudette did a wonderful job. Okay, so that was our last story for today. So we're going to go ahead and sing our closing song, If You're Happy and You Know It. Are you guys ready? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, pat your knees. If you're happy and you know it, pat your knees. If you're happy and you know it, your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, pat your knees. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're mad and you know it, your face will surely show it. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! Thanks for singing along with me, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!